Good morning. My name is Michael Yesenko, and current president of the Union Township Historical Society. Today we're going to interview Claretta Terry, a lifelong resident of Vauxhall Union, New Jersey. Claretta's sister, Mrs. S. Bell Watts, was a charter member of the Union Township Historical Society, which was founded in 1957 for the purpose of preserving the historic site known as the Reverend James and Hannah Caldwell Parsonage, located at 909 Caldwell Avenue, Union. Bell Watts was a life member and an honorary vice president of the Union Township Historical Society. Bell was an active member and enjoyed greeting visitors to the Caldwell Parsonage during open house events as 4 Centuries in a Weekend, sponsored by Union County Cultural and Heritage Division and the Union County Freeholders. The purpose of this program is to record Claretta Terry's family history as residents of Vauxhall, Union, New Jersey. A few years from now, on October 23, 2008, the Township of Union will celebrate 200 years of its incorporation as a separate municipality from Elizabeth, New Jersey. We intend to use Claretta Terry's family history to write some of the African American history of our town to educate future generations of our school children about local history. Claretta, when were you born?
I was born in September the 27th, 1904,
And where?
in Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbus, South Carolina. Approximately when did you come up to Vauxhall, Union, New Jersey?
Jersey. I visited Jersey in 1924. I came here to live in 1926. I taught school 2 years in Columbia, South Carolina. I got married the first year I was married, and then I went back to teach. Then I came back here, and I've been here ever since. I was married August the 14th, 1927.
And your husband was?
William Terry, and he's been here. This was probably his, I would say, life home here. He moved here from New York as a child, and I met him in Vauxhall and married him here.
Your parents, who are your parents?
John and Rachel Watts.
And members of your family? Who were your brothers and sisters?
I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. My oldest brother was Dr. John E. Watts. He practiced here in Vauxhall until he died. I don't remember the year. And my oldest sister, she lived in Florence, South Carolina. The other 2 brothers, they left home at an early age. One went to Cleveland, one went to Boston, and that's where they deceased. Well, I have had a brother in Stamford, Connecticut. He's deceased. So it was only 2 left, Bell and myself. And I was the oldest of the 2.
How long have you lived in Vauxhall?
I have lived in Vauxhall since 1927, when I got married.
Until present time, and
Until
stayed here all that time.
All that time.
And your brother, who was the dentist,
Yes.
about when did he come to Vauxhall? About the same time you did, or
No,
before
after I did.
After you did.
Because he was practicing in Bayonne, and then he came to Vauxhall.
Would he be one of the first dentists, the black dentists,
Yes,
practicing here in
And the only
Vauxhall?
one.
The only one.
Yeah, the only one. Dr. John E. Watts.
And that would be maybe 1930, 1940,
Yeah,
50?
I guess. He was around the time of Dr. Smith. Myra Smith, Kiss,
Oh, yes, okay.
because they were friends.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school in Columbia, South Carolina, and from there I went to Washington, D.C. to school.
And what was school like in Columbus, South Carolina?
Always
What was
was,
the school?
Well, it was very nice. I know I went to high school there. I finished high school, and I lived right in the city because I tell everybody I was born a block from the governor's mansion, so you know I was in the city. And after I finished there, I went to Washington to a school called Minor Normal. They had 2 years, and then they changed like all the rest of the 2-year colleges into 4 years near my college.
And of course, normal schools were basically teaching colleges.
Yeah.
Who are some of your teachers
Only one I can remember in high school was a lady named Miss Saxon, and she would chew peanuts making peanut butter. That's what she said, you know. But Saxon and her daughter. But I just really, at my age, you know, I'm 98, and I can't remember back then.
Do you remember any of your classmates that you went to school with?
Well, Juliet Saunders, she's gone. Edith Clark, she's gone. Those 2, I just can't remember.
Also, do you remember some of the interesting activities that you had at school, dances or any particular celebrations, sports, activities, games that you might have participated in?
No.
They had no clubs?
Yeah, they had clubs, but I just really, I can't remember back, to be frank.
Okay, now, since you arrived at Vauxhall, can you describe what Vauxhall looked like when you first came here?
Across the street was a farmland. Most of it was farm. And my mother said to me, she knew I didn't like country. And she said, I hope you will be able to stay here. She said, because you never did like to go out where it was country. And of course, you had a husband, you loved him. So that kept me here and started building up, you know, the farmlands. I can remember, and I should have kept them. I threw away some of the pictures I had. And yeah, vacant land. Above me was vacant, and we started building.
You mentioned Dr. Myra Smith Kearse. Dr. Myra moved to Vauxhall in 1927 and practiced medicine in the first floor of her home at 375 Tower Street, Vauxhall, for 40 years.
She practiced medicine before then on Hilton Avenue. That's where she practiced, a house in Hilton Avenue. Then they moved to Tower Street and bought a house, and that's where she practiced medicine. Because they were very close to my brother. One of them was her daughter's godparents or something. But her first practice was on Hilton Avenue.
Near the school, the Jefferson School?
No, up there near the church, near First Baptist Church.
She later, after she retired in 1967, she later became active in Union Township Community Action Programs and Director of Union County Anti-Poverty Programs. Her husband, Robert Kearse Sr., moved to Vauxhall and worked for the U.S. Post Office Department. In the 1920s, he was appointed postmaster of the Vauxhall Post Office in 1936. Do you remember her husband, Robert Kearse?
I remember Bob well. Bob Kearse, yeah, he was postmaster. And before being postmaster, he's manager. It was a A&P store up there where that building is in the point up to Milburn Avenue. It's an office building. It was a store there, Mosby store, and an A&P. And he used to work there before he came, the postmaster.
Robert Kearse Jr. was born and raised in Vauxhall.
Yeah.
He attended Jefferson School, grades 1 through 8, which is now Central 5 School on Hilton Avenue. He remembers Jefferson School being essentially a black school. Amaya also attended Jefferson School through 8th grade. She had an excellent education, graduating from Michigan Law School. She worked for huge Hubbard and Reed law firm in New York City. She is now a United States Second Circuit District Court judge in New York City, appointed by President Jimmy Carter in 1979. Did you know Maya?
I know she was a godchild of my brother or sister-in-law. One, I don't know, I knew him well. We were close, very close family. Dr. Kiss and my brother, my sister-in-law went to school together, to Howard University. They went to school together.
Were you surprised when she was appointed U.S. District Court Judge? That's one of the highest.
Well, I wasn't surprised
in law.
because she was a very, very smart person, and I wasn't much surprised.
And of course, she's still there on the court today. She's still there.
Yeah, she's still there.
I also interviewed Kaya Carter in 1983. Did you know Kaya Carter?
Yes, I knew him well.
Okay.
Yeah, he lived down the avenue.
In Union High Television Studio when he was about 92 years old. That was back in '83. He moved to Vauxhall in 1926 and remembered Demon Davis building the first house in Vauxhall, and prominent neighbors as the Mannings, Mary Ridgewood, Reverend James Garfield Bryant, and Reverend Sheldon.
Yeah, Reverend Sheldon married me.
Did he? What church?
It wasn't a church. I'll tell you where it is now. Palmer on the Valley Street, the plumbing place. That was a house that sat down on the level. And when Palmer took it over, it used to be a meat market. And they moved the house up on the hill. But I got married in that house that sit up on the hill, but it was down on the level. And Reverend Sheldon married me on a Sunday.
Reverend Bryant began his pastorate on June 15, 1913, and helped build the Union Baptist Church of Vauxhall. He served 39 years and 7 months. His church membership had a steady rate of growth. Did you know Reverend Bryant?
Did I know him? Yeah, he lived in Brunswick Street down here, and the house still living, still standing. I knew him well.
Kaya's daughter, Charlotta Colley Carter, remembered DeVorn's dairy farms on Springfield Avenue, where many cows roamed and grazed casually. Milk trucks moved freely over dirt roads to a milk pasteurizing plant. The farm became the Union Marketplace and is now Home Depot.
That's right.
Charlotta was a graduate of Union High School. Kaya's grandson, Jimmy Carter, was a sophomore at Union High School in 1983. In the early 1940s, Vauxhall contained many small vegetable farms. Some neighbors raised chickens. The Carter family continued to farm and grow their own vegetables in 1983. And you mentioned that you knew Kaya Carter and his family. Did you happen to see the little farm that he, the garden that he grew, vegetables,
Well, probably that was at the house that I don't remember. See, he lived down the avenue, down Springfield Avenue, right off in a place called Windsor Place, across from the golf club.
Mm-hmm.
He lived in the street across from there. But the younger ones, you know, I don't have been able to come in contact.
Do you remember DeVorn's dairy farm?
Oh, I used to get milk from there.
And do you remember seeing the cows on Springfield Avenue?
They were kind of back. I could say yes. Mm-hmm.
And were there a lot of small vegetable farms in Vauxhall, or just isolated, scattered about, just a few?
Some scattered about. And then I know over, well, that was Union on Burnett Avenue. They had a, what is that farm? I can't think of that farm name. They on Burnett Avenue.
I think the Headleys owned considerable property, and of course there were still Burnett's family members living in that area at that time.
Burnett Farm, that's what I'm thinking,
Burnett.
yeah.
We have a newspaper story of Belle Watts and Mrs. Julie Douglas, who was the first female postmaster of Union. and she was appointed by President Harry Truman, postmaster. And Julie Douglas appeared at Sadie Sack's nursery for a graduation ceremony. And in this picture, the caption indicates that Belle Watts was the director of the Sadie Sack's nursery at this time. And the picture also shows about 10 or 11 children that graduated at that time. We have a second picture of the graduation exercise, where you see for the Sadie K. Sachs Day Nursery. This occurred on June 3rd, 1960. S. Belle Watts was director at that time. Mayor F. Edward Beer Temple is seated on the left side. Mrs. Julie Douglas again is standing in the center. And there's a photo on the table of Katie Say Sachs, for whom the Katie Say Sachs Day Nursery was named after. And of course, you remember Mayor Beer Temple?
Do I remember him? I certainly, I remember.
And of course, Mayor Beer Temple, as you know, was mayor in Union from
About 100 years.
Yeah, 1930 to 1973 when he died. So he was mayor and on the township committee combined for a period of 43 years.
Oh, yes,
Which
yes.
is a long, long time. What do you remember about Sadie Sachs and her nursery?
Well, I just knew she was the head of it, and they had to step around when she approached the doors. They used to hide kids that wasn't eligible to go because the parents had to work, and when she would leave, they would take them out the closet, I would say.
Did Belle spend most of her career working for Sadie Sachs?
Yes, that she worked there for 30. That was a whole time, yes.
Over 30 years?
Yes,
That's
33. And they did name a day Belle Watts Day when she retired. And her picture was down there somewhere. And do you have it down there in the?
We have a picture of Belle in the Historical Society with a few additional members of the Historical
Well,
Society.
she was taken with the mayor at the. I don't know who was mayor at that time, and picture down to the town hall. A picture and the name of day Belle Watts Day for working so long.
Okay, we're going to see if we can check that out and put it into our record. Who did you admire most in the Vauxhall community and why? Is there any one personality or any one family that you admired the most in Vauxhall?
Well, I say everybody because I loved everybody and I admired everybody. And I guess that's why I got along with everybody.
And of course, you're related to Oliver Young, which I did not know. I was not aware before we met for this interview. But Oliver Young was a teacher at Union High School for many years.
Yeah.
He taught business, and then he also became attendance officer for Union High School. And then he left Union High School to become a principal in Roselle. And then
Locust Street.
And then later became a principal at Abram Clark High School.
That's right.
In Roselle.
That's right.
And of course, unfortunately, he died a few years ago. But I knew Oliver Young. And what's your relation to Oliver Young?
We are first cousins.
First cousins. And you knew him very, very well.
Well, he lived here with me.
He lived here. Very tremendous. So you must be very pleased and proud.
Oh, he was very,
Oliver.
very close to me, and I really missed him.
He also was very active in the Union community with the Rotary.
Oh, yeah, he was a member of the Rotary.
At one time, I believe he was also president of the Rotary.
Yes, he was.
Because I had met him at a a luncheon that they gave, and I was given a talk about Union Township history at that time. And I was surprised to see Oliver Young presiding as the head officer of the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
So he had many talents,
Yeah,
and
he did.
very much involved.
And he was fond of children. He did a lot for children. See.
As you yourself have done, and as many of us like myself, my entire career was in school teaching and working for children. Now as I'm retired, I'm also, again, continuing to work for children and studying history and recording history for the benefit of the community, and that's why we're here. You're assisting us, and we appreciate it.
That's why he left that scholarship fund for the children of Union High. If they made the mark, they could get a scholarship every year. Each year, he's been given 4 scholarships. I haven't been able to attend the meetings, being, sick. But he would give $1,500 each year to these kids that made the mark.
Tremendous. You've lived a long life. What is the secret of your longevity? Your good health and long life?
Good health and treating people right and loving everybody. That's my say, love. And giving them what you would want to receive. And I have received it. I was here alone, living alone. And my good nephew there said he didn't want me to live in this house alone, because it's a 2-family house. So he gave up a beautiful apartment to come and take my 2nd floor. And I mean, taking care. I'm so spoiled now that, I don't know, he's wonderful to me. And the man above really sent him here at the right time.
Oh, that's terrific. Are there any final comments that you would like to share with the community about your family and living in Vauxhall?
Well, my family, I had cousins here. That's how I happened to come to Vauxhall. Had an aunt. They were the Andersons back then. And my mother visited me, and I came here to visit my aunt. And that's where I met my husband here. And I've been here ever since.
And the climate, the fact that you came up from the South South Carolina, the colder climate in the winter, that never bothered you?
We didn't have snow there, like here. It was cold, but we didn't have snow. But I got accustomed to the climate. It didn't bother me at all.
In concluding this interview, I would like to thank Bill and Ruth Froelich for their assistance in performing the tasks of camera work and videotaping, Bertha Matthews for coordinating this program, Ted Coburn for his direction, the late S. Bell Watts for assisting the Union Township Historical Society over the past 40 years in carrying out its mission to educate school children and the general public about the history of the Township of Union, New Jersey. And special thanks to you, Claretta Terry, for sharing your family story with the community.
Can I say this a little story about my sister?
Absolutely.
Just before she died, my aunt gave her an imitation fur coat when she was 3 years old. And she kept it all those years. She had it on the chair. She said, I'm going to give this to the Historical Society. And she died without giving it to them. And I have it back here now. That little coat, and I don't know what to do with it. She was going to give it, in memory of her.
When did she die, Belle?
She died on what date of October? It was the 12th or something around October, yeah.
2002.
And 2, yeah.
Again, thank you very much. We appreciate your
your
help and your assistance, your cooperation in this project. It's very important that we have this history. It's very important.